Este es el reggae que empieza a sonar, va de Vilcabamba hasta las orillas del mar. Este es el reggae que empieza a sonar, va de Vilcabamba hasta las orillas del mar. Lleva el mensaje de hermandad y sanación, burremos a la pacha, derrumbemos Babilón. Lleva el mensaje de hermandad y sanación, juremos a la tierra, derribemos Babilón.
Welcome, dear family, to another episode of Alegria, here where we radiate and expand our consciousness and the joy of the universe. Today, we are coming to you from the south of France, in a beautiful area of nature where we are receiving the prana in a beautiful way. We have the opportunity also to be sharing this experience with two beautiful sisters, friends, Mariam and Esta Divine, here, who have also participated in the 8-day process. Esta in January and Mariam in April. Here we are now in the 5th day of the 8-day process in France with a group of 21 participants. And we have had some suggestions, some requests that we also share the experiences of people who have participated in the process and what their life is like now, living in the conscious pranic state after having gone through the 8-day process. And so these two lovely and beautiful women have offered to share their wisdom with you today. So ladies, I would just love to ask you if you would introduce yourself, maybe where you come from, and how you came to be interested in the pranic consciousness.
Okay, I'm Mariam. I come from Paris, and I got to know about the process through Esther. Actually, she took it just a few months before me, and as she was radiating and just so happy and telling so much and how well she felt about after the process, I wanted to try it too, and I felt it was an experience I should go through, and so yeah, I tried it in April, and since then I just felt like, oh, I'm so happy every day, and it's so great to live in the pranic, consciousness, and yeah, it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, bonjour. My name is Esther Divine, Esther, if you will, and I've always been attracted to everything that connects me to my divinity. So that's how I came into wanted to meet actually Akahi and Camila and Inti, because I saw them on, SMTV after some viewing some videos, and I really loved their vibration. And pranic, yes, I've always had like contact with prana through meditation and a few other things that I've been doing before, like Kriya Yoga, and I always like to be surrounded by good vibration, happiness, joy, love. So that's how I got started, and I first took actually some 1-day process. I think I did it like a few times, a couple times maybe, or 3 times, and I really wanted them to come over here to France, and my process has been wonderful, very easy, very comfortable. It was a new discovery also for me, because I used when I was younger to stop eating regularly. You would call it fasting. and it was good for me. But there, with the tools that they share with us, and about this, technology that helps us to enter in a very smooth way and happy way in the pranic consciousness was a real great experience for me. And since then, it really enhanced my unity within, the universal field, energy field and all that, and I feel great and even more divine. Yes, so
Wonderful. Yeah, so maybe you wouldn't mind going a little bit deeper into what the pranic state means for both of you. Now, after having experienced the 8-day process, what is your perspective of the prana? How do you receive it? And what does living in the pranic state mean to you? Does it mean being food free? Does it mean living in a state of the conscious breath? So, any insights about that?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's it's like the total freedom, and it's like being always in connection with yourself, your higher self, and also with the environment, the whole universe. You make one with it, and you understand that your thoughts, your words, and your actions go just have a big connection with the universe. So everything that is that you do and you talk or you think just goes in interaction with the whole environment. And yeah, living, having this consciousness is just amazing, because then you understand um, who you are exactly, and your purpose in life, and you can go through walk happily and with a kind of serenity every day of your life. To me, that's what it means exactly. It's not about being especially like food free, but it's higher than that. It's a higher purpose. Yeah, that's what it means to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. You, my
yes,
dear?
yes, being in pranic consciousness is being light, being in pure light. I think that my attraction is light, divine light. I use it everywhere. I cook it, I sleep it, I hum it, I sing it, I dance it. I'm all about divine light, and being pranic for me is about that. Of course, as you say, it's a lot higher, a lot greater than being just food free. Yes, it can help you, if you will, to be food free, because you will acquire wisdom, you will acquire freedom. You know, you'll feel light about it. I feel very light, and I love to laugh. I love to be happy and enjoy. So being pranic for me is, yeah, really being about just bringing you into your self-realization in a way that is very tangible. And because prana is life, life force, and it's what sustains the whole universe, our whole being. And I also love the way that Camila and Akahi approach it, because through the technology they teach us, it's so, it's easy to catch. It's not intellectual, it's just about practicing and putting in place patterns that can actually be not patterns, you know. um, and yeah, prana is life. Prana is life. That's how I would put it. I think that the fact of eating food, not eating food, is a very small detail. Yet, it is important for humanity, actually, because food is a factor, is actually one of the main factors of manipulation, political, economical. It's easy to, drive people crazy or make them do anything you really want through food. So it's important in that way to be food free, because yes, or at least to have like a sort of distance and vision where you can see the fact of eating, for example, from another perspective. Yet, it is a detail into the pranic consciousness and state of elevation, because you'll get higher. You'll get in higher states. You'll get into feeling more, everything that's going on around you. You get to be more compassionate. You get to be more loving. You get to be more happy. So it's all very anchoring into the essence of what and who we really are. For me, being pranic is also, it could be a synonym to I am that I am, and everything. And I could go on like that forever.
So both of you did the process via Skype, right? From your homes?
Yes.
And I'm just curious to know about how you feel that the breathing sessions and the internal science has incorporated into your lives. Do you feel that you had to continue with the sessions afterwards? How was the integration into your everyday life once again after the 8-day process? And is there sort of a practice that you maintain related to the conscious breath or the internal science techniques that you have accumulated, or um, how is that aspect for you? How do you carry your process now?
Well, after the process, for me, I was carrying on the breathing sessions for a little bit, like maybe, yeah, once every day for about a week. But then, as I do meditation, I felt like I didn't really need to keep going on that way. So, yeah, for me, it's fun when I meditate, when I go outside in nature. I just feel naturally connected with yeah, my surroundings, my environment. So there's no need to do the breathing sessions every day yeah, I think. So yeah, your body naturally cap the prana and transform, get this energy from the universe, or yeah, just the environment around you. So, and that's beautiful too, because you're not dependent on doing breathing sessions all the time. You just keep going freely, and you do feel this happiness and yeah, all this energy inside you. Anyway, so that's beautiful.
So the conscious breath integrated just naturally into
Exactly, yeah, naturally, yeah. It's like it's part of your everyday life afterwards.
you, my baby.
Hmm. Yes, I I remember when I did the process, the light was not that vivid at that time of the year in January. So, there are certain parts of in the transmission where we have to. I don't want to, reveal it. There, but we have to open the eyes to the light and stuff like that.
For
And
the
there
memory
was for the
reprogramming.
memory reprogramming. So I like this part very much actually, because it's easy. I used to do something, for example, to shift, from one state of consciousness to the other. Like, for example, if someone gets on my nerves, I would sing in my mind, na 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 na, stuff like that. So, and I found it was very similar, but more more profound, more scientific, to go into the reprogrammation of the cell. And as there was not much light at this time of the year, and sometimes it was actually getting dark, so I was just visualizing the thing, and then in the days following, I would do it in the light when there was more sunshine and so forth. So, but as far as the breathing session, no, I didn't do at all, because I follow already, a routine of Kriya Yoga, so I'm very tight with that, and so I don't mix the breathing, you know. But what I really appreciated is that the fact that, first of all, I had like some internal, deep, spiritual experiences that I wouldn't share here, but that were very revealing through the process. It went through visions, it went through during the sessions and after, during the process itself. Because when I, when you do it with Skype, you're not with a group of people around you. I managed myself a space of, retreat at my home. I went upstairs and just, I didn't really want to interact with the outsiders. And it was good. It was a real retreat for me, and it was also fun because we were a group of 6 people, I think, on Skype. So we could still share sometimes and together, and it was very interactive, I believe. And so afterwards, yes, like said Mariam, there's no, I didn't feel any need to redo any of the techniques taught, because it's implemented. Once it's there, it's there. Plus, I'm very easy person to, grab things into. I'm sort of empathic, So yeah, it was just there. It was. I think what the process did for me is that it triggered the really the this. Like I was saying, this essence of unlimitation, really, in all aspects of life. Like, I knew it before. I was practicing and still practicing, my routine, my spiritual routine on an everyday basis. But this process really triggering, things on a very practical, cellular way. And it's not lying, it ain't lying. When they say it's, how do you say, cells, reprogramations, and reprogramming the memories and stuff like that is very, very efficient. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to add, as like Esther said, we took it like a little retreat, even though it was a Skype session. We were cozy at home and with our little group and all the time in our session sharing. I was kind of afraid that afterwards going back to the normal life would be difficult, but actually, no, it's like, yeah, the cell reprogramming is so important. It can, it allows you to let go of the past, but all your troubles, all your kind of traumas and everything you had before, then it's all gone and you feel so light, so free, and just so happy. So even if you go back to, like for me, as I work full time, I was a bit afraid of that, but it went all fine. And yeah, you can always live your a normal life even though you change your lifestyle in a way. And yeah, it's matched perfectly. It goes really well, and yeah, you just need to be confident, and it goes all fine.
Yeah. And me also, just taking what you just said, it was funny because when I finished the process, my son and his girlfriend, they were doing a TV show, and they wanted me to show up there, to accompany them, like it's The Voice, it's some kind of show, and I was like, oh, no, I don't want to see that many people and be, in those kind of place where you have all the cameras and the lights and, so I had this little apprehension, I would say, not apprehension, but I really felt like staying cool. And finally, I got there, and I was just, it was funny, I was meeting some people, just hugging them and, singing a little bit there, and then I was feeling so, so, so good. And then after I went even to work, for my music, where was that, in Monaco or somewhere, where you really have to kick it, So, and honestly, I didn't feel like eating. I didn't feel like drinking even. I had some drinks, light drinks, but I felt it was so heavy. That's to talk about the food aspect of things. And it was funny because the drummer who, we were doing the performance with, I guess he was afraid. He was looking, if I was not going to fall or something like that. But actually, I was kicking it. The only thing, I was a little thirsty, when I was on stage, because you sing a lot, you dance and so forth. But I was feeling ecstatic, And since then, actually, I feel ecstatic. I feel ecstatic. I went to that, yeah. I think it triggered my ecstasy in a much permanent way.
Wow.
Mm.
Beautiful.
That's why you discover the power of your own body like you never did before. You get to know you have so much energy and it's unbelievable. Like I used to jog, and like if I jog for let's say an hour, my body would ache a lot before the process, but afterwards I felt like I could run forever, and it was so great. My body didn't ache at all.
Yeah.
It was all fine.
Yeah,
Still is,
yeah. As I was saying, certain things, are very personal in terms of spiritual experiences, and even the way you feel the way I felt in my body. Um, when I talk about ecstasy, it is physical and very powerful in terms of what's physical. The energy, how the energy starts flowing. You could talk about, real. I don't want to say Kundalini awakening because Kundalini awakening had already awakened, but still, physically, this sensation, these new sensations, physical sensations about feeling all your cells, how the fluids are going in your body, going up to your crown chakras, and that type of thing that are very, very, very interesting and mostly powerful. Also, the sensation. So I would go in my bed, I would be just like, oh, I feel so good. So what I did is that I was feeling so merged into the all, that when I had to go to meet people in town, for example, I would sit in a cafe and we would have something to drink then because I had to. And it's funny because on me, I felt that when I was having those, smoothies, like stronger drinks, it would a little bit take my vibration down a little bit. I mean, not down, but sort of less, I mean, a little more dense. That's it. Because I was feeling so light. I could have flied just like that. So just in order to feel a little more dense we live in Paris, and Paris is a dense city. The density is so, a lot of agitation, and it's very dense. The vibration is that much. So I had to sort of adjust myself to that because I was somewhere else at some point. Um, so that's what I did. And since I've had some food also, I've had some food, and in the beginning it was very difficult because it was too heavy, and it put me to sleep and stuff like that. I feel tired. But now it's not the same anymore. I can have everything I want if I want to. Um, and yes, I will be more tired, but I would not feel that discomfort. It's like there's a sort of transmutation. I use this term because I've read some of the other pranic beings, or testimonies about that. I remember Jasmine also was mentioning that about these transmutations of the food into prana, and I think this is what I experienced. And so yeah, it opens really some gates that new gates, of how to approach life and how to manage your own everyday thing, life, and you always find the solutions. Yeah, Prana always bring you solutions to all your problems if you do have.
Yeah, so going into that topic, do you feel like you have limits in your lives? Do you feel like there are things um, that limit you now?
Now unlimited possibilities. It's just wow. No, total freedom. Like you can choose to eat sometimes if you want to, like to socialize, and it doesn't stop you from socializing or seeing your friends and family. Of course not. It's just that instead of eating because you have to, you just eat because you want to. It's just total pleasure, only pleasure, not necessity. So it's just beautiful. Yeah. So no limitation.
Like, did you hear what I just said before?
Yeah.
I said I felt unlimited, and it was not a joke. It's like, yeah, it's for real. I mean, it's like I would say unlimited, but unlimited like in unlimited in limitations or unlimitations?
Unlimited.
How do you would say? It's like unlimited in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
I can fly if I want to. I can do whatever. I wouldn't say I could do whatever I want. Yes, in a way, but it's more like manifestation is becoming easy. It's like also, and I've seen it. In my own life for those past weeks, months. Things have a tendency to manifest more rapidly, and in a very sometimes it's really surprising, even because it goes like I'm thinking about something, and then it used to happen like that before, but now it's even more. The distance between the thought and the manifestation is just shrinking. And that's very interesting, of course.
Yeah, so your capacity to be in the flow of the prana and in oneness of the universe allows you to recognize your capacity to be the deliberate creator
Oh yeah,
of your life.
yeah, yeah. It triggers it even more. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, of course, I've lived that because, as I was saying, it's already my path.
Yeah.
But I think that this accelerates it in a very significant way. Hmm?
So, have you seen any that your own process has affected your family members or the people who surround you?
Oh yes, it affected them. Actually, a funny thing when I got into, I used to be a fruitarian, let's say before I took the process, I was a fruitarian for a few months,
Yeah.
and I was a raw foodist before that, and um, so when I took this retreat, my youngest son is living at my home, but he works, and so, but I didn't, our path our paths didn't cross during the retreat.
Yeah.
And so when he saw me after, and he saw that I was not eating, it just went he just freaked out. Actually, he was like, oh, I mean, you lost 20 kilos. You lost 20 kilos because I lost some weight, but I was nice. I was like that. Am I nice? Yes. So
Beautiful.
I was like maybe a little slimmer, at the end of the process, but just good, good looking, I think.
You felt good.
But he was very surprised, and because it was only a week or so. So he was, and then when they found out that I was not eating anymore, yes, they were affected, but not affected in the way of oh yeah, mama's feeling good, or my sister's feeling good, or wherever. I think only my parents went very cool, and plus my parents, I gave them the book, Living on Light from of Jasmine.
Okay.
So I believe that, and they always trusted me very much. They always knew. They believe in my sort of what they call my faith, and my sort of um, yeah, approach of life.
Yeah, beautiful.
So my parents are all right with it. I think that two of my sons, they were a little um, worried maybe, but they cannot say anything because I have more energy than them. So, not to talk bad, but it's true. It's true. So I think, and now what's happening in terms of being affected, I think that now it's more, it's sort of arranged also some issues. Sometimes you have family issues and stuff like that, and now things are just going in a much more harmonious way than before. I think. But mostly, I'm not as much as affected as I used to be. Sometimes, you go. I'm very compassionate, so I had a tendency to feel for the people in a very like almost identifying with their pains. And I don't do that anymore. I'm still compassionate, but I have this sort of maybe distance, or I see it more like I can heal
Mm.
more, and I do not have to share the pain in order to heal, I just can soothe, but without being myself that much involved into the pain of others.
So you were saying,
So even when people are skeptical about our pranic way of life, then when they see how much energy we have, how positive we are, and how what we radiate, they just no, they calm down. They ask questions, but then they're kind of interested and curious about what it is exactly. So yeah, that's good.
and you've seen maybe some changes in your family or your friends.
They do want to know more, and yeah, they do. Yeah, my friends and family, they ask questions, and they, yeah, I think like we radiate something so positive. They do want to have a bit of it and know more about it. And as I say, it doesn't cut you from socializing, so they can see you still drink with them, you still go out with them, so it doesn't cut you off. So I think that's great. Yeah, and we are like. Yeah, we are like a light for them then, and I think it's yeah, you can only be positive. So that's a great way to share things.
Wow. Wonderful insights. Powerful women, powerful beings here before us. Is there anything else maybe that you would love to share with us?
Oh yeah, but Esther was saying like we took the process in Paris through Skype, and although Paris is a big city, very dense city, you can take the process anywhere. You can live the pranic way anywhere, country, city. You can be working like I do. You can be free, and I think it's the great thing about that is that you can do it anywhere and choose to do whatever you want to do. So that's great too. You don't have to be, isolated from people and live your own way on your own. You can be with everyone, and it's great that way too.
So would you recommend the pranic way of life to the people, to the humanity?
Of course, definitely.
Yes, that's what we're about. It's really, you know, it's what we're about. So we have to, I said, we have to go back to source, and really, that's probably the best solutions for all the problems of the planet right now, and possibly of humanity. Now, of course, it's all unlimited. We know about prana, we know about divine energy, universal love, and unity. And I think also being pranic has a great, great, great impact on the planet and possibly on the universe, because um, radiating this love and this light is just going to attract more and beget more. Beget, yeah. So just be, just be, and you will see things change. Uh, be pranic. We are pranic. It's not like you have to be pranic. I am pranic, you are pranic, but it's good that we have people now. We always had actually have, but I think that we live to help, to help humanity. Now we had like Jesus Christ, we had Lord Buddha, we had Mahavatar, we have Mahavatar Babaji, all the masters and the saints we know, and so many others. And now we come at a point in the in the planet Earth that where we can really um, it's easier. It's not like it's just made for those type of people. Although they've been showing us through their works and through their sharing their science and spirituality, that's what they were showing people. But people would put them think that they're not able, to do it. And now it's what's good is that there's a proximity happening. It's easy to share this process. We can do it through Skype. We can organize, workshops or, days, some days process and stuff like that, conferences, and people, even if they don't do it right now, it will still have an impact on them, and it will have an impact on the planet, because it just helped to evolve and to go into higher, um, how we call that again, dimensions, let's say. Yes, that's about it. It helps the planet to go in a higher dimension, and it's so good.
Yeah, it helps both in a universal way and also an individual way too. So that's great. You will feel just more energy. You will feel you can concentrate more. You will just yeah, you can. Your senses will just amplified. It's like you discover your own self, your own body, and yeah, your mind and spirit are just so connected with your own your one self, and it's yeah beautiful that way. And as she said, it will elevate the whole universe too. So everything is just positive.
Mm. Don't we feel happy?
Yes.
And we look happy because we are. So, you know, yeah, it's a very good way. And I think Camila,
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think Akahi, I think my masters, you know them already. Paramahansa Yogananda, Mahavatar Babaji, Jesus Christ, Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswara, and all the saints, and sages. Yes, and yeah.
Yeah, you need to try it, really.
You want me to name more? And yourself, because it's the I am presence is me, is you, it's everybody, every being.
You're awakening the inner mastery. We are living from our masters. We are the guides. And here through our happiness, we expand the universe. This is a beautiful family and continues to grow with each opening that each one of us create in our hearts, in our minds, opening to new possibilities, to new spaces. This doesn't belong to anyone in specific. This is for everyone. The love is universal and unconditional. And that's what this is all about. So here, through our hearts and our smiles, we radiate infinite and unconditional love to all of you. All of the possibilities exist. All of the doors are open before you. It just depends on each one of us in our perfect moment to feel and know what's best for us. Thank you for joining us today, for being open to receive this infinite wisdom of these beautiful sisters, sages of this life and of the universal life. We love you all, and from here, continuing to breathe into our greatness. We would love to offer you a mantra. Or the one that you do there.
We had a new mantra, but it was for Inti. They have a beautiful son. And he's so captivating, it's like when you're around him, you're like, oh, sorry, did you say something? Because I was watching Inti, and the song was going like, Inti, 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 Inti. And Inti means,
Inti is the sun, the
yes,
god of the sun,
the sun.
creator of life in the Quechua.
How sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I was lost, but now I am found.